You know, I made a pineapple syrup the other day, and so there I was with the fresh pineapple, used the rinds and the hard bits, and made a syrup. And I was like, what do I do with it? Well, I want to make something, a cocktail, of course, and which cocktail do I make? So I checked the Death and Company book, and I remembered there's a cocktail in there called the Gilda. I think it's on page 183. Anyways, that cocktail combines cinnamon syrup and pineapple and agave. And I didn't really like it so much. I thought it was a little too, I didn't think the agave and the cinnamon syrup really matched so well. And so I wanted to do something else with my pineapple, but I was inspired by that Death and Company cocktail. And so I came up with a great cocktail, and I want to share that recipe with you. I'm going to share some pro tips with you. So stay tuned as I make my drink. Tuesday Night Cocktail Club meets every week, inspired by the Pro Bar, built for your home bar, just drinks every Tuesday. Anyways, so what I did was I wanted to use my pineapple with Mezcal. I also think 2 ounces, which is the standard, you know, for a base, but I thought 2 ounces of Mezcal is too much, so I split it with a little tequila. And then I thought some elderflower. Elderflower always works, you know, as the Death and Company cocktail book tells us. It's the ketchup of cocktails. And so I wanted to use a little bit of that. And so I'm going to mix that up here with you. I mean, after I made it, I was like, oh, I just kind of made a swap in, basically, of a margarita. But I think it's a different, has some different notes to it. So let me go through it here with you. I've got 1 ounce of the tequila. I've got 1 ounce of the mezcal. I've got half an ounce of my pineapple syrup. You know, any of these syrups that you make at home, it's always going to require you to adjust your cocktail in the end. So, you know, you might make your, you might make your syrup, you know, a little sweet, or the not as much pineapple comes through. Whatever it is, you're going to end up having to make adjustments. And then I've got lime juice, and then I've got half ounce each of the lime and the pineapple syrup, and then it's a quarter ounce of the elderflower. And so I have my ice here. I have my ice here and my dump bucket. And I'm going to dump it all in here, and I'm going to shake it up. And then I like to serve it straight up. That seems to be my favorite way of serving cocktails, is straight up. And then I'm going to pour it here into my Nick and Nora. Poured it there into my Nick and Nora. I've got a garnish here. And so here, I'm going to taste it now. Boy, that is definitely a really great cocktail. I love the smokiness of the mezcal. I like it, the fact that the mezcal is tempered by the tequila, so it's not overwhelming. And then the elderflower really gives it a nice cast to it, and the pineapple as a sweetener really gives it its own unique flavoring. Anyway, so I call this cocktail, because the one in the Death and Company is called the Gilda, and so I'm calling this one the Bernice, because my mother had a friend named Gilda, and she had a friend named Bernice, so I'm naming a cocktail after my mother's friend. Anyways, that's a really great drink. It's really easy to make, and so there you have this week's Tuesday Night Cocktail Club. I really am entering into highball season, so I have a great highball plan for next week. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. You know, thank you for joining. I will see you next week.